friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another beauty video. Now today we're going to be getting ready together as we always do in any makeup video, but I am going to kind of focus on this product right here. I briefly shown you guys this in the last Get Ready With Me, but we didn't really do a wear test, and I kind of want to do that for you guys today. So the goal of all of this is to put this on and see how it lasts or how our makeup holds up using this. Now I have used it a couple of times, but again, I want to sit down and make a dedicated video for this. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Now, of course, I'm going to start with priming the skin. I'm only going to go in with this spray. This is the Beauty Elixir. This is going to be what I'm going to use as my primer and primer only. I do have acne scarring, so I'm going to use my e.l.f. corrector. I have this one, I have the Pixie, I even have one from Fenty. I don't really have a preference. Sometimes I'll just go ahead and use the NARS concealer, but today we're going to go in with this one, and I'm just going to tap that here. That's really the only area outside of maybe like this little blemish over here that I want to kind of cover up as much as I can, because I'm not going to actually go in with a full coverage foundation. I'm going to let that sit for a second, and then I'm going to take this Real Techniques brush. This is the Deluxe Crease brush. I have plenty of these, but I'm just going to take this and just kind of like tap that. I'm literally just kind of like tapping around this blemish because I want as much of that product on the blemish itself as possible, so that way I can kind of cover that up. This one I don't really care about too much, even though there is some pigmentation there. I'm just not that concerned. And then I'm gonna go straight in with the Bare Look tint. This is from YSL, and I actually really like this, and the reason why I'm pulling this out today is because it is acne prone safe, and I do obviously like it, and I feel as though the shade will be okay to use as well. So I'm not going to put any on my forehead just yet. I feel as though everything is just looking too like light and ashy on my skin, and I really don't know what that's about. I mean, in person it's not as ashy as it appears on camera, but this is tripping me out. Like, do I need to shop for new foundations and stuff completely? I'm going in with some of the NARS foundation, the soft matte, just a small amount, because I'm really trying to like even out this complexion, if you will. I don't want to look ashy. I want things to look cohesive and not like I dip my face in freaking baby powder. I don't know what it is with these skin tints and foundations that I have, but summer is gone. I haven't been in the sun in a good minute. I don't understand why things are just looking so much lighter. Like, I thought when you get a tan that eventually it goes away, but clearly my skin is a little darker. Okay, for concealer, I'm also going to use NARS. I'm going to use the Radiant Creamy Concealer. I'm running low on this, but I'm going to pop this here. Just like the outer and inner corners, you know, just using a little concealer, not too much. We're going to go ahead and use the NARS Laguna Bronzing Cream. I promise you guys, this isn't a one brand tutorial. It was not in the plans to use the foundation from them, but I do love a good NARS product, so I'm not mad about it. And I hope you guys aren't either, but I'm just going to just start bronzing my skin a little bit with this while the concealer is just sitting there. And then we can blend everything together. Because of the way the brush is structured, it's easy for me to just kind of get alongside the nose with this and just adding a little bit of that bronzer there, so that way we can start to kind of contour our nose. You do have to be careful depending on what concealer you use, because sometimes if you let it sit too long, then it gets too dry and stuck in place, and then you can't move it. So this is one of those concealers you want to let sit for a little bit. You don't necessarily have to, but you don't want to let it sit too long, or else it ain't gonna budge for real. To set the concealer, I'm going to go in with a little bit of the Sephora Micro Smooth powder. This is a little more close to my skin tone, so just keep that in mind, that me pressing this on top isn't gonna help brighten anything, but I'm doing this just so that I can set the concealer with a light layer of powder, or pressed powder really, pressing it into the skin before I go in with my loose powder. But you don't need 2 powders. You can use however many you want. To me, this powder kind of mimics the Charlotte Tilbury. Does the same thing. Makes your skin nice and smooth, matte, and just sets nicely. And then for loose powder, I'm just gonna take a little of the Laura Mercier translucent. This is the regular translucent powder. I think last time I used the honey. They both are really nice. It just depends what you're going for. And then for actual bronzer, we're gonna use the MAC Matte Deep Golden Skin Finish. This is really, really pretty. So I'm gonna use some of that on my Sephora Pro Powder Brush, which is number 50. And it's not clean, but we're gonna use her anyway. All right, you guys, we are almost finished. I do want to add some blush. I'm going to use this one from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Pillow Talk Matte Beauty Blush Wand, and this is in the shade Pillow Talk Peach Pop. And I'm just going to dab this on the cheeks. I'm going to put a little on the nose, and I think that's where I'm going to stop before I do too much. And I'm going to take my angled brush. This is from Almar complexion brush. Got this in BoxyCharm long time ago, but just any angled brush will work. And just kind of blend this out right up here near the temples. I believe this blush is matte finish. I'm not really sure about that though, but I think it is, because I think the ones that are more like luminous are like a more glossier finish on the tube. And it's giving matte, so I'm pretty sure I'm right in that assessment. You guys already know this Sephora palette is what I'm using. Actually works fairly nicely to apply. I feel like I could use a blush, an actual like orangey blush shade in there to add to the cheeks, because it would match the liquid blush, honestly. Maybe mix like this one and this one. This one's kind of like my favorite one to use. And I'm just going to take that same powder brush that I used before and just kind of pop that on the cheeks, just for like a nice little finish on the blush. Okay, I think that's it for the makeup. I think if I were to want to put on eyeshadow, a nice little like orange under eye would be really nice with this. But I love the way this makeup turned out. I can say I got one foundation in my collection that kind of matches me. Am I going to put on any lip gloss? I don't know. But we are going to spray our face down. So again, I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible. This is the 3-second setting mist, and it's supposed to hold up to 36 hours. We're not wearing our makeup that long, but we are going to apply this. It is currently 10:19, so I will check back in with you guys towards the end of today. It is officially 5:25, and I've had this makeup on for, I would say, about a good 7 hours. Now, granted, I have not gone anywhere. I wasn't really doing anything strenuous today, and it's fairly warm in some places of my house and kind of cold in the others. That considered, my makeup held up pretty well, I would say, in my opinion. Honestly, I could be a lot more oilier than this, especially in my T-zone after 7 hours. We can easily take a little bit of powder. I'm just using this one from Sephora, the Micro Smooth, and I can just tap in the areas that I need to mattify, and it still looks good. You know what I mean?